Hello and welcome back to the Boston Commune.
This week's incredulous installment will feature commentary from Comrades Scott, Joe, Ellie, Sarah, Binx, and myself. We discuss the actual ramifications of Chauvin's conviction, more tea reforms, welfare, credit, the whitewashing of black liberation, political action against the prison industrial complex, baby bottles in Dubai, bagel skepticism, and, of course, what to watch. It's a long one, but time flies when you're having fun.
Please do us a favor, share this content, do yourself a favor, enjoy your Epoch.
Lenin is the person who helped us sort of understand what imperialism even is. And even though imperialism today has developed to a point that it hadn't when he wrote about it, his analysis of it and of its trajectory is still very much correct.
We're gonna shart this show right out of our asses.
Do it.
Hell yeah.
Shart this show like it's molasses.
Oh my god.
Can I just
this, the show feels so much weirder when I'm actually awake enough to actually be completely aware of what's going on.
Joe, what's going on then?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
When we do the pod, I forgot how weird we are.
Into the news, dude.
Moving on to the news. Much to, at least my surprise, and it seems to be most of ours.
Love you, Joe.
Derek Chauvin was actually convicted of murder on all counts.
Yay. I mean, as much as you can be like, yay, about somebody dying, but yay.
I find it to be kind of a Pyrrhic win, though, because A, someone was murdered, and B, I don't really think this changes much of anything, because, I haven't really been paying attention for the last week because I've been kind of on a vacation.
A little bit.
But, my first reaction, first blush instinct is to feel like that this is kind of like an instance of, systemically speaking, it's
we're going to throw, one guy to the wolves to get everyone to, shut up and calm down so that the police state and the carceral system can go back to business as usual.
Yeah,
because one guy's been thrown in prison, and now we can get everybody to shut the fuck up.
This is the pill that I was talking about in my intro last week. It's the pill that makes you quiet.
Yeah, the quiet pill. I can't wait until we can just bring people back to life after police shoot them. That'll be nice.
Well, also, so he was charged with second-degree manslaughter, which does not imply lethal intent, and I'm glad he was convicted, but at the same time, it's on a charge that says that he didn't have the intent to kill this person. I don't know.
He just wanted to stun him lightly with that bullet.
Yeah, it's he wanted to, just kneel on his neck for funsies. No, that's going to kill someone.
Yeah. He's just getting in his reps,
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, God. What else you got?
He was trying to keep up with his quota. He had quotas to keep.
Yeah. He had a certain number of black people he had to kill that month, so...
Yep.
He's just trying to keep up with the... Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of the sentiment that it is good, but it's he's the 7th out of 15, is it 1,000 cops who have been gone on trial for murder, and he's the 7th that's actually been convicted. So it's and it's what Jesse said. It's they did it because if they didn't, I'm pretty sure cities would just be on fire right now.
Your audio is not that great right now.
Yeah,
you're bugging. We can mostly hear what you're saying, but it's pretty.
What is it doing?
It's now it's normal, but it sounded like your connection was really weak.
Yeah,
and it was trying to catch up.
Well, okay. Well, shit.
Still doing it.
Really?
Yeah, you kind of sound like a robot.
Maybe you should just switch to the robot the worst. All right. What the hell else is going on?
Yeah, what's in the news, Joe?
The St. Vincent's nurses strike has entered its 7th week in Worcester. The nurses there are demanding, among other things, better staffing ratios so that they won't have as many patients that they are expected to have to look after at any given time, which would both make working conditions better for the nurses, but also probably it will make things safer for the patients if the nurses aren't running around to dealing with like 20 patients at a time. This is one of the big demands that the Massachusetts Nurses Association made 3 years ago when they successfully got a ballot question to limit the staffing ratios to like 15 patients per nurse, but tragically that was crushed under a semi-literal mountain of cash from the hospitals, in which 70% of Massachusetts voters voted against that, which I'm still unhappy about, like 2.5 years later. So the nurses are in their 7th week of striking. Much solidarity to them.
What the
Hell yeah. Wait, did we lose
celebratory
Scott?
dog toy?
That was
Yeah.
it was a good noise. We did lose Scott. I
Oh,
hope
that was
he's
good
timing,
way
though.
back here. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I was like looking at my dog and I felt really bad because she had so much energy and wanted to play. And I swear I thought I had turned off my mic because I was like, I should squeak the toy and like, you know, like.
I thought it was like Joe's chair or something. That's adorable.
I thought it was the soundboard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That works too.
The
No,
one
it's
time
funny.
it's not actually me.
Well, you've never squeaked your chair before. I don't know.
No, I mean, the one
don't
time
feel
we
like-
had something in the background is not my fault.
Yeah, Scott's chair squeaks sometimes.
No, it's usually Scott's chair.
Yeah, he's the chair guy.
Yeah.
And
I don't actually have
Usually-
I just realized I don't have any pens with me right now.
I don't know if you guys can hear the
I have
dishes
5 pens
in the
with me right now,
background,
at
but
least.
that's
I mean, I can go
I
find
don't-
one.
I can hear it, but it's very like I like the ambiance.
yeah. Like I was gonna say, it's almost it's more it's like an inviting sort of what's the word? It's
A rumble. Actually, I don't even know what we're
yeah,
talking
I think
about.
ambiance is exactly the word that I was looking for. So
Yeah.
Looks like the room
trying
is
to
about
come
to
up
crap
with a
out.
synonym for that is just
I feel like I'm in a diner. It's nice.
I miss diners.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
what is happening right now?
you're back.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, what is happening right now?
Speaking of diners, have you guys been to like Waffle House before?
I'm trying to ask
No.
a question. Oh my gosh.
remember.
We're still talking about news, I think. We're talking about the dishes noises in Jesse's apartment.
I may or
Alright.
may not have been to a Waffle House. Whether or not I was sober
Why
that's
the fuck?
another question.
So you're saying you may or may not because you don't remember.
I can neither confirm nor
Correct.
deny.
Okay.
It is possible that I have been to a Waffle House. What else you got, Joe?
Just some stuff with the tea. The tea is still not ready
Still
to implement it yet,
yes.
but they spent $900 million on trying to update the fare collection system, and their biggest concern is
Oh no, it might be easier for people to evade fares. God forbid, like, people not have to pay for public service.
Yeah.
which
I mean,
it's deeply disturbing. Like the way that the article is framed in Boston.com. Like currently, fare evasion rates of 1% on buses and subways, with the exception of service Greenline trolleys, where it's believed to be around 5 to 10%. All in all, officials say it adds up to $5 and $6 million in lost revenue on those two modes of transportation. Additionally, they estimate that about $10 to $20 million of fare revenue is lost in the commuter rail due to the same problem. Here's the thing, though. As a percentage of their revenue,
yeah,
that
it's
is
a drop in the bucket.
basically nothing. The average fare revenue for the T pre-pandemic was around $750 million. They're fretting over $26 million. I'm sorry, on the commuter rail, it's mostly not because people are actively trying not to pay fares. It's because the conductors just simply forget that we boarded the train. This has happened to me at least 4 times in the last 6 months where I get on the train and they just forget that I'm there.
Yeah, that's happened to me, and I barely even have ridden a commuter rail ever. Also, I feel like even if they were making those fares, wouldn't they still just be like hella broke?
Yes.
I don't really
mean,
know where I'm going with that.
I was looking at the numbers on Sunday, and I feel like they selectively put out data because they have
They're trying to find ways to justify the austerity.
exactly, like they have like up to the minute stats on some stuff, but as far as
As far as the money
ridership and
goes, it's-
revenue stats, it ends in December of 2020.
Oh.
Yeah. When it comes to the money, they've always seemed to be very tight with those numbers because it makes it harder to justify the austerity if like people could see it for themselves. Because like the T got $2 billion in COVID aid, and it took the entire congressional delegation and basically every prominent state level Democrat to publicly blast the T. I mean, for fuck's sake, even Steve Lynch was angry about this, which he's a piece of shit. That's the only thing that like got them to like be like,
okay, fine, we'll kind of like ease off on the austerity a little bit, but like not really, just a little bit as like maybe a treat, and also because we got caught with our hands in the cookie jar again.
Was hoping you were going to say as a treat.
So they're spending $900 million at most, by their own estimation, a $26 million issue.
They're also spending a bunch of money to consolidate 2 of the B branch stops, which I can say with certainty is not going to be worth the trouble that it's caused in.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because.
So, yeah, which ones? I remember this.
Blandford.
Oh, Blanchard and East BU or what, BU East or whatever.
Yeah, like St. Mary's is getting, I don't know. They're 2 stops between the subway and Boston University. And I mean, it's not like it makes the trip that much fucking longer. What they need to do is give the train priority rather than have it go with the flow of traffic because it stops at every red light.
Yeah.
What's really disturbing about this article is this passage. To address these concerns, the T is planning to ramp up fare enforcement. However, unlike other cities, the agency is looking to do so through less punitive measures. And then you scroll down the article and you see what the punishments are. The new legislation that they're thinking about passing through the legislature is that riders who refuse to pay a fine will receive a warning from the MBTA that their driver's license may not be renewed. For any riders who have had multiple unpaid fines, the T will notify the RMV to put a hold on that person's license, meaning they won't be able to renew their license until they pay the fines or receive a waiver for financial hardship. That's less punitive?
How many drivers ride the T? Like, I've done that while having a car.
I do that, yeah.
I have to do that every time.
Oh,
right.
In regard to ID, state ID is being phased out. It's been getting phased out, but you can't update your ID anymore. Like, you can't renew it.
Oh, I know somebody who's trying to get a new one on Friday or something.
Yeah, you have to pay, like, the full price for a federal ID now.
Oh, that's lame.
Which means, like, there are some documents that people might not be able to get, even if they can afford it. Specifications on the kind of documentation you need, it's, like, more rigorous.
Like, I don't know why they're making a big stink about something that, according to them, won't even be fully implemented until 2024. Don't they have other things to worry about?
Are you talking about the T or the ID thing?
The T.
Oh.
Like, this T's already complaining about, like, this system that they won't even fully implement for another 3 years.
Gotta complain about something.
If they have a long-term plan, then they can justify doing exactly what they said they were going to do, regardless of whether ridership numbers increase to pre-COVID levels or not.
This actually brings me to the next thing, which is actually, as you said, the long-term plan, because it would seem apparently that the T does not actually have a long-term plan, because that normally they do have a 5-year plan for this kind of shit, for like spending on like upgrades and repairs. Is known as the capital budget, which is different from the budget for like day-to-day like operations. They're planning to spend $2 billion on upgrades and repairs next fiscal year. But normally they have like a 5-year plan for like the capital budget. And this time around, they're only going with like a fiscal plan that should only last like a year or two at most. They're just like,
well, fuck it. We're going to just year by year so we don't actually have to do anything.
I don't know. I'm not opposed to that because the current management of the T seems like they're drawing long-term conclusions from short-term rider trends. We don't know what the fuck is going to happen with Boston over the next year, let alone the next 5 years. Like, because they're going to open schools again. A lot's going to depend on who the fucking mayor is, because like
that's actually fair.
Like Michelle Wu was.
I'm just skeptical of anything that T does at this point right now.
I feel you, but I mean, Michelle Wu would be
awesome.
Potentially a significant difference from the other candidates when it comes to public transit, because
given that she's the only one who actually supports making like fares free, eliminating fares on the T like across the board, yeah, that's an understatement.
Yeah, that's
I was listening to Comrade Evan G's podcast, like the Boston Reviews, under 10 minutes, and he's like, yeah, like across all the candidates, like Wu's the only one who supports getting rid of fares. Like Janie supports doing like a pilot program for like 1,000 people that will last a month. There's like other candidates who like will support like maybe some of the bus lines, but not all of the bus lines being free. And then there are other candidates like, oh, like maybe only for like certain demographic groups. So like, yeah, she would be a significant departure.
Wait,
Definitely.
Yeah, like rich people get to ride the trains for free.
Like what kind of demographics? Are you talking like, are you brown enough to ride the T?
Evidently.
That's
so it's gonna be the actual like Family Guy meme,
kind of,
where it's like
from
you
what
can
I
ride
understand.
the T, you can't.
Well,
do I sound fine? By the way,
there's no way that could possibly go wrong.
Yeah, like how the fuck are they gonna implement that? You're gonna have like
Jesus
like
Christ.
like the guys in like the yellow vests like at the door, like I don't know.
or the other alternative would be like that. There's like the problem that I would do with that is like in order to get the free thing, you have to go through some other like separate like more complicated sign up process to like prove you are whatever you're supposed to be. And that just sounds like another like thing where it's like,
Oh, you can have the free thing as long as you just go through all these annoying, like, asinine extra steps.
like
Yeah.
It's not, you've accurately described the process of going through like the temporary assistance program, like the reduced fares for like people with disabilities.
I
For
mean,
the
yeah,
tea?
that's how it is. That's what they do. That's the whole reason why we want to do mutual aid instead of nonprofits and shit is because they set up these systems where in theory people could get help with certain things, but
I always come back to the earned income tax credit, which is like, it's something that like seems like it's ostensibly supposed to help people, but the way it's actually designed in practice makes sure that like the said people that it's ostensibly supposed to help are like incapable of actually receiving it.
Sarah,
Yeah.
what else? What were you saying?
I was trying to say that like basically it's the kind of idea that like we'll give people help but we'll demean them while we're doing it, and also it's not making them more independent or liberated. It's just like basically managing poor people.
Right.
Just managing them so that they don't upset the wrong people by like being in the wrong places or doing the wrong things and stuff like that. So it doesn't actually like materially improve their lives.
That is one valid criticism of the meager welfare state that we still have, that it's like an accurate right-wing critique, and that is that
policy fight.
The safety net in America sort of traps people into whatever socioeconomic status they're in permanently unless they want to get off of disability.
Right. Yeah.
So
or SSI.
I hear that.
So like I know how much money I'm going to make at most and at least basically for the rest of my life if I stay on disability. So that's why like I don't have any aspirations. But
yeah.
I mean the alternative is like, you know, change the system, because I really don't see myself being able to like make a real living without disability. But again, I mean that could change over time. It's just like, I don't know, sometimes having an insufficient safety net is
worse than having none at all.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like what I said here. I think I spent too much time talking about the consequences of remaining eligible for financial aid rather than the obvious necessity for a more robust social safety net, and I would probably be screwed without SSDI. But the strict limitations on income can be kind of a burden on their own. The paradoxical inflexibility of my work hours, permanent status as a second-tier employee, and the deeply entrenched Reaganist stigma contribute to my own feeling of alienation and periodic experiences with imposter syndrome. If somebody calls out, I can't go in and cover that shift because I'm paranoid that I'm going to get audited, you know?
Oh, yeah. You're afraid of making a significant... What's the acronym? I was looking this up recently. It's like you were like participating in sufficient gainful activity or something, like over the limit of income that you can make on SSDI.
Right. So even if I'm a valued employee, like my value is depreciated because I have a hard limit on how much I can work.
Mm-hmm.
System sounds bad.
Yeah, that shit,
it's pretty fucked.
That kind of stuff bothers me because the thing is that if you are, as a person who struggles with executive dysfunction because of various reasons, from what I understand, just like being poor is a really big hit on your executive ability to like do executive functioning.
Oh, hell yeah.
So then it's like, so the fact that there's all these like kind of caveats and all these processes you have to go through. And then also, like you're saying, Jesse, like having to be like, oh, I have to like monitor what I'm doing so that I don't like get disqualified. It's like it's just like super exhausting. Like having
really is
another
murder on
thing you
your
have to
brain.
like yeah. Like I already get like just
Murder on the
trying to
brain.
remember how much I've used on specific credit cards that I don't go like above 30% is just like I'm like, oh
Yes.
shit, like it's so that's it's just that, and I'm doing
Yeah.
fine financially. Like I don't even know I can't even comprehend what would happen to somebody if they had to like only make a certain amount of money, and then if they have to like avoid certain things and have to like double check whether like
I have to
doing a
triple check
certain like
everything.
like doing a certain like program, like doing it's like it's the kind of stuff where it's like if you want to do certain get certain types of aid, I forget what it's called. Like if you're on a green card or something, you have to like there's a word for it where it's saying like you can't do certain things because it will affect your like public charge or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like
Public
something,
charge?
yeah, I
Sounds like
think
the fucking social credit system in China.
yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
that's
baby.
Yeah.
that
I used to
just-
work
that shit
in a-
bugs me.
I actually
go
don't
ahead.
have anything to have. I used to work in an immigration law firm, and I recall there being things like that for green card holders, although sadly I can't remember what they were.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the same social credit system, but we still have one.
Mm-hmm.
We just call it something else that none of us can remember right now.
Credit score.
Credit
Well,
score.
no, it's the thing.
I mean,
the thing I'm
credit
talking
scores
about
really
is
are like an
specifically-
abomination.
Yeah, they are, and they've only existed.
Yeah,
since the
it's credit
70s.
score is so fucking dumb. It's like I don't know, just
And that's why you were talking about like the 30% thing on your credit card.
yeah, like
balance,
having to
right?
remember that and like being like under 30, like okay, I can only
Yeah.
use this card to 30%, and then I can use the other card to 30%, and then I'll go to my debit card.
Yeah,
But that level of executive function is already like I can do it if I'm not tired, and then it's like otherwise I'm like oh shit, and then I gotta go pay extra on the credit card so that
Yeah.
that by the end of the month I'm not over 30%. It's like ugh. Anyway, I just feel strongly about this because as a poor executive functioning person.
Fuck
Someone
money.
also has that problem. Like, it's super exhausting. That's part of why I refuse to ever get a credit card, because like I am incredibly like religious about my finances. Like I am very on the ball, very almost obsessively like micromanaging it, like because like I don't have that much money to work with. But like I would never be able to keep up with a credit card, because that shit would be too much.
too abstract. I didn't want to get one for the longest time.
I still think it's insane that like people act like credit score is like this immovable thing that like it's inevitable. Like they've only been around since like 1989, and yet they
Exactly.
govern.
So our parents
score is
didn't have
pretty
to
good.
fucking deal with them.
And yet they
I'm
and
all
then,
about
and
their
yet
houses.
they govern like every aspect of our financial existence.
It's
Yeah.
very disturbing to
Fucked.
me, particularly because it's not a federally regulated thing either. I don't want to dispense any false information, so I looked into this and it appears that the only way to hold a credit reporting agency accountable is to file a dispute with the company, which then has 30 days to either reject the dispute as frivolous or launch an investigation. And if that doesn't work, you can file a formal complaint with the CFPB. The Fair Credit Reporting Act did establish some guidelines which allows consumers to trace denials of credit, insurance, or employment back to the reporting agencies that supplied the credit information. And then the FTC has like some shit for it's like business tips, which basically suggests that you tell the consumer when their information was hacked or whatever. The 2003 Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act amended the Fair Credit Reporting Act with some identity fraud protections and mandated that Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion provide one free credit report annually, though Massachusetts had already passed state laws to these ends by 1994. Nonetheless, a public interest research group study from 2004 found, quote, serious errors or other mistakes in 79% of credit reports surveyed.
And I've always heard that's a disaster. And it is a disaster.
It's just corporations sort of determining what your monetary value is as a fucking human being. I didn't have any credit history. I am like 1 month, not even, into owning a credit card because I got a secured card. I've lived my entire life owing no fucking money to anything because I see the way that it tears people apart.
Yeah.
Just the cycle of debt. Like it's terrifying. And as somebody who already struggles with, maintaining my mental health as is, I didn't want to create another dimension to that. And so I feel like now, having been on SSDI, like I'm sort of at that place where like it's like I'm comfortable and I have money in savings and everything, and I am experiencing the same kind of thing that I do like with my landlord, because I report to the Social Security department every month without fail. It's the only fucking thing I use postage stamps for. That, like, I don't write letters, you know what I mean? But I still report my income every single month. And
no, keeping track of stamps, that's very relatable for me.
Yeah, well, what I do is I buy the sheet and I fold it up and put it in my wallet, and see I have a pick in there as well. So if I'm anywhere and there's a guitar and there's no pick, I'm fucking covered, because you gotta prioritize the important shit.
You gotta
have the stamps and the picks.
That's right.
And I was gonna say something else, and now I'm thinking about stamps and picks.
How
you keep the
I'm
stamps.
assuming.
Oh yes. Okay, so I report.
Sorry about that.
I very faithfully report to the Social Security department every month, the same way that I pay rent. I pay rent a month in advance, and like I'm a good resident. I don't make fucking noise. I don't bother other tenants here. But because I have cats, I'm sort of compelled to stay quiet when I have an issue with the maintenance guy, because I don't want to like draw too much attention to myself, because I'm breaking one of the terms of my lease agreement. And when it comes to Social Security, like it's like I'm constantly being afraid of like, do I have to prove that I'm doing something to address my mental health? Because I'm not seeing a therapist right now, but like, as you guys already know, like my experience with seeing a therapist rather than doing peer support groups, which I don't have documentation for, is basically somebody making me feel bad for like being involved in organizing, you know what I mean? Because I'm not doing fucking the Jordan Peterson, program or whatever. Like I'm doing activism instead, which personally is very consequential when it comes to my mental health. Like it can be the difference between me not wanting to get out of bed and me feeling like I have a purpose today. It's like you get exactly enough rope to hang yourself with. No more, no less.
Yeah.
Wait, so if you have to call the maintenance, I'm sorry, if you have to call the maintenance guy to fix something, do you have to like lock all the cats in the bathroom and be like, oh, my girlfriend's in there? And he's like, oh no, your girlfriend's right there. And he's like, it's my other girlfriend. And
no, I just don't
Why
get
does your
anything
girlfriend
fixed.
smell like pee?
I still don't have a fucking doorknob.
Wait, what?
Oh damn.
Just hide your cats.
Well, that's not true. I have a doorknob, but there's no locking mechanism on it.
Hide your kids, hide your cats.
Like you can just see through the door knob.
Good thing it's just you guys.
The guy just doesn't answer my. He just personally doesn't like me. You know what I mean?
Aww.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I like you more because you have cats. That's not true. I like you equally as if you didn't have cats, but your cats are pretty fucking cool.
Well, it's not like he doesn't like me because I have cats. I just know that I can't complain about him because he knows that I have cats.
Oh, okay. So he's like in on it. Okay, I didn't pick that up earlier. Oh, that's cool.
But as a consequence, like he never fucking does anything that I ask him to do.
Oh, so you're basically kind of being blackmailed a little bit.
Yes, that's kind of what I mean.
Okay.
It's the same, like, so with Social Security, it's like they continue to give me money, but I am kind of entering into an agreement where, like, I can't work extra even if it means that I can help somebody by doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
I can't be as productive of a member of society as I fucking want to be because, like, if I'm disabled, I really got to be fucking disabled. I can't just be a little bit disabled.
Mhm.
I got to be, like, full on, just fucking incapable of, like, taking care of myself, you know?
Being productive is overrated.
Agree.
Yeah.
As someone who is a little too productive in terms of the amount of time I spend at work, it's definitely overrated.
Yeah, it'll get you. Wears you down.
Yeah.
And shit.
I
I
don't
think,
know.
like,
Maybe
I
I'm
wish
just-
I had been radicalized so much sooner in my life because I bought into the fucking Kool-Aid about, like, being productive for so long.
You didn't
I don't
drink the
think I had
Kool-Aid,
that
but you bought
opportunity.
into it.
No, I
You
had
bought
to.
shares in the Kool-Aid stocks.
Yeah, you
I
bought
had
the packets, but you never really got around to making it.
I had to drink other shit. to make up
So
for
now
the fact
you
Made
have
the
like
Kool-Aid
a
video.
tower of Kool-Aid boxes, and you're now you're messaging old friends on Facebook Messenger saying, "Hey, I know we haven't talked in a while, but look at the crazy results I get from these Kool-Aid packets." And then they'll be like, "Is this an MLM?" And you're like,
No,
"No,
it's not cool.
No, it's just a great
No,
business
I just-
opportunity.
it is just I'm trying to get this is a secret that I'm trying to get
share
you
this
in
with
on."
you. Yeah.
This,
True story,
This
we
Kool-Aid
actually
stock
do
is about
have-
to blow up.
We do have a ton of boxes of Jell-O in our pantry because there was like
What?
a period of time where Josh was like, "You should make Jell-O all the time," and I was like, "Okay." So I bought some Jell-O, and then like I just haven't been making it because I'm like too lazy or something.
I am so impatient for Jell-O. I will I need
Yeah.
things.
What?
I'm so
Too
impatient.
long. I don't want to wait 4 fucking hours to eat this
Yeah.
Jell-O.
I'll just kind of look at it. I'll open the fridge all the time. I'll just kind of shake it around a little bit, like, oh shit. Like that's what I'm.
When I was I was in like 3rd grade, all of my friends started buying, their parents started buying them like Jell-O, like dry Jell-O packets, and then they would bring the Jell-O powder to school and they would
Snort
like
it?
eat it. Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
would eat it. And I remember being like,
Mom, can
I don't even know. She might have let me do it once. She might have let me like have some Jell-O powder and be eating it out of my hand at school. But actually, it's pretty tasty. Anyway, Joe, what other news we got?
Hold on.
Fucking
Wait,
the
you
show
got-
just took an
Hold on.
unhinged
I
turn.
want
Yeah,
to say
go ahead,
this. I want to say this before I forget.
Yeah.
When I was little, my mom made like real Jell-O in a pot. It smelled like fucking garbage. It's disgusting. Like it smells because it's horse hooves. It smells like horse hooves. Okay.
Gelatin,
Yes, not like
Yeah.
Jell-O brand gelatin, like some other gelatin.
gelatin, as in like the
With the horses.
protein or whatever that comes
Yeah,
from
like
boiling
Whoa.
bones.
yeah, yeah. Ooh, it just smells. I don't know. Like it smells like a fucking nylabone.
It actually
It's like
sounds
bone
really
broth. Bone broth is
horrid.
gross.
You like
I
that
thought
description of
very
that?
good.
What the hell is this? Some kind of tube?
All right,
That's
let's
what bones are. Bones are just tubes for your marrow.
get collected.
Okay.
Let's get collected. Joe.
Joe.
Hey,
Hey, Joe.
Joe, you got
Hey,
some sword.
Joe.
Joe, what's the
Joe
next
would
step?
be-
Is this page 6 with all the pretty ladies?
What?
I beg your pardon?
Sorry.
Where did Joe go?
Joe,
I'm
come
still
back.
here.
Where
Wow.
in Joe
The-
is
the one
my
time I'm
thing?
Oh my
quiet,
God.
for
That- oh my
Joe.
God.
San Diego.
Joe. Joe,
What?
Joe off.
Joe.
can you back up like 6 inches?
Sure.
What? Oh,
Perfect.
oh yeah.
Perfect.
Still here.
Perfect. All right.
Through these years.
What you got?
So, it's somewhat disappointing, and granted, this is very much in line with the administration's continuing theme of
We're just gonna, like, at best go halfway and then just kind of give up.
the administration announced today that they are planning to pursue a plan to cut carbon emissions in the United States by 50% by 2030, which is halfway to where we need to be. We need to get to 0 emissions by 2030, not half. 50% emissions by 2030 is still probably like a decade too late at that pace. Which is conveniently
Yeah.
also
Are you
where
complaining?
ExxonMobil would like to be.
I just want to share with you guys. I saw bamboo toilet paper, like unbleached bamboo paper towels at the CVS across the street. It's in a plastic wrapper.
Yeah.
Capitalism, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I like before I had any real grip on the nature of how rapidly capital has like eaten the planet up. I saw a Hummer in a Whole Foods parking lot and I knew there was something fucking inherently wrong with it. And I feel the same way about unbleached bamboo toilet paper wrapped in plastic.
There was something similar where it was like, I think it was this Japanese or Korean skincare / makeup brand called, I don't actually know how to pronounce it. It looks like Innisfree.
Oh yeah.
They sold some kind of thingy in a, it was like, oh, this is a pump bottle of some kind of, I'm assuming moisturizer or something, and it's in a paper bottle, and it was actually like the brown paper color thing on the outside of the bottle is actually just covering up a like plastic interior.
Great.
Yeah.
It was like
So progressive.
and they were like they said I'm sure they released some kind of. I'm gonna look this up actually. I just want to see what they actually said.
Yeah, that's amazing. If you find it, share it in the Discord chat because this chat hates links for some reason.
Oh yeah.
This item is called "Hello, I'm Paper Bottle." That's
What the hell is it? I'm kind of too.
yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like
So-
you had one fucking job. You had one job.
Here's what their statement said.
Following the backlash, the brand has acknowledged that the label "Hello, I'm Paper Bottle" may be misleading.
They're quoted as saying,
Maybe
"We use
misleading.
They said,
We use the term paper bottle to explain the role of the paper label surrounding the bottle.
What the fuck?
What?
Cool.
That's some weak shit.
We overlook the possibility that the naming could mislead people to think that the whole packaging is made of paper. We apologize.
Like, dude, you called it paper bottle.
Are they trying to be like, well, the bottle isn't sentient. It can't talk to you. If you think it's talking to you and telling you the truth, then that's your fault.
They say
we apologize for failing to deliver information in a precise way.
Or like
Wow.
deliver the product you're trying to sell. Apologize for that.
Yeah.
Really impressive how shitty it is.
When I was younger, I looked at a Juicy Juice container, and it says, because you know how it says like 100% juice for 100% kids?
Yeah.
Juicy juice. 100% kids, baby.
I do remember that.
It makes it sound like you trade the juice for kids in equal proportion.
The small print
Some
says like
Epstein juice.
the small print said like 10% fruit juice.
Uh-huh.
So that means 10% of
So
a
what-
Or 10% children.
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
could you could literally put any. I mean,
It's like a decimal error or something.
it's just the most. It's the most meaningless fucking marketing because if it's liquid and it's like in a juice box, then it's juice.
100%.
That makes me think of the Simpsons thing with like no money down, and it's like no, it's no comma
No,
money down.
money down.
Yeah.
Actually, it's even more depressing than I thought because I saw a headline just now. I was just double checking. The headline from the New York Times is nearly half. Cut emissions nearly in half.
Climate
That's
change.
even worse than I thought.
Love it.
I mean,
like-
it's better than nothing. It's
That's
better than what they're doing
language.
already.
For perspective, that's a slower pace than Amazon's pledge to get to net zero carbon emissions by 2040. That's a slower pace than that.
Biden's an older guy.
The
He's
Biden
so
administration's climate plan is
Have you seen
less ambitious
Bezos'
than Amazon.
muscles? Of course he can do it faster.
Yes, but the fact that like Amazon, one of the most evil companies in the world, is proposing to deal with their contribution to climate change more quickly than the American government is deeply troubling.
Well, you can commodify it, you know.
Yeah.
Just like he commodified the Washington Post.
Yep.
Actually, did he? I don't know. He bought it.
Yeah.
He bought it.
Yeah.
Democracy dies.
In
Jeff-
darkness. In
in
Jeff
Jeff
Bezos'
Bezos' wallet.
asshole.
I was gonna say
Democracy dies.
Democracy dies in Jeff Bezos' ass wallet. Yes.
Democracy dies unbleached, wrapped in plastic.
Correct.
And then wrapped in paper.
Every story printed with the right pronouns.
Democracy dies.
No, it's
in
the nukes.
Jeff
It's the
Bezos'
nukes with
unbleached
the
asshole.
rainbow. The rainbow nuke.
Yes, there is.
Wait, are
His
we veering
unbleached
into
tireless
sadism?
asshole.
No, we're
Are
having
we, like-
fun, Joe.
Yes.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah,
have
we are.
fun.
We're facades now. We're gonna
Talk about
we're gonna
bleached
blow
assholes,
up
Joe.
the Middle East.
God.
We're gonna
Trans
bleach
gay
some assholes after
facadism.
throwing missiles at the oil fields.
I'm just in the.
Rainbow. Yeah.
I'm in the territory of
Good.
just letting my brain make whatever connections it wants and not trying to. My brain is unleashed.
I approve that.
I love it.
Like the
I'm
dog,
here for
like the
it.
dog store. There we go.
I
Wait,
approve
did
that.
you just say
It's-
the dog store?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
there's like a pet store called Unleashed. It's like
dog is lit on
it's rich people shit.
Sounds kind of sexy.
no, it's not. It's a
that
fucking.
weird?
It's
I know it does sound kind of
it's a
sexy.
peck. It's not rich people shit. We use it. It's
Oh,
they
okay.
they sell like healthy cat food. It's
yeah,
not,
yeah.
It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's not really expensive.
Oh.
It's just like it's like fancy shit. It's just not Fancy Feast, basically.
Yeah,
It's,
I
it's
just
like
assumed it was
brands
rich
that
people
aren't
shit.
going to kill your cat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
good.
assumed it was rich people shit.
Fancy Feast
because-
is gonna kill your cat.
Is it? Whoa.
Dude, there's so much
Wow.
garbage in that food. Like it's almost completely byproducts.
Oh,
Aw.
Jackson Galaxy says.
Did you not
you
know
should,
that? I
like,
mean, when you
kill a
look-
cow yourself and then feed the meat.
I didn't
to
know
your cat.
this. No.
When you look at a can of cat food, they have like basically upper and lower bounds on the amount of
Shit can be in
guaranteed
it?
crude protein in it, but it doesn't really say what it is. Like it's just
I don't
you
like the
can
sound of that.
infer that it's like ground up chicken gizzard or whatever.
Big
But
slime.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Ew.
basically it's just garbage because cats can eat fucking
Cow
anything. but-
anuses.
How did we end up talking about cat food?
dude,
No, do you
What
listen to the
podcast
show
do you
while
think
you're
you're
on it?
Okay. You got any more Joes, Joe?
No, but I will say I definitely approve of Sarah's, strategy of just kind of letting her mind loose. As someone who tries to do the opposite of that, it's fun to watch someone else actually do it.
Vicariously.
I spend my whole fucking life trying to rein it in, and the past month I have been trying to be more accepting of myself.
That's good.
Really
Rain it
difficult.
out.
It's
Yeah,
really difficult.
hard
I
to
also
though.
try to rein it in, but I like to see that other people with executive functioning issues are actually able to do that because I try and fail
Joe, rain
most
it
of
out.
the time.
Rain it out.
Heartening.
Uh,
We support you, comrade.
thank you.
Both
Yeah.
of you.
If you gotta rain it out, rain it out.
yeah, you guys know how I deal with that shit. If you heard the
The song you made,
yeah,
it was great. You should put it in. You should put it in this episode.
okay,
Sorry, tell a story. I don't need to interrupt you.
no, that was it.
Okay.
I forgot what I was saying.
Okay.
So
Listen,
Joe, is that your final story?
That's what he said.
it would
the
appear to be.
final countdown.
The final
Brain
story.
cell.
Joe, you're depressed about climate change?
We're gonna need to do a lot
What kind
more
of
than
question
is that,
reduce
Joe?
reduce emissions. Like we're gonna run out of water.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna get all expensive.
Yeah.
And
Or,
by run
yeah.
out, like we're not really gonna run out of these resources per se. It's just that like when it stops being profitable, the people who like have billions in capital are just gonna leave the fucking planet.
And the rest
Yep.
of us are gonna be stuck drinking our own pee,
Yep.
which is the thing you can do. It's
Are
terrible.
they gonna go Mars?
Yeah,
I
of
don't
course.
know.
That's-
Probably.
that's,
Probably.
That's
Think
the-
I
that's-
know?
What do you think they're
You
gonna
think
call
I talk
Mars?
to
when
rich
s-
people, man? Do
You
you
Elon
know anybody?
Mars.
I literally don't know any rich people. Like
You don't need to
What-
talk to
what
them.
is
You just
rich-
have to get
what
on
kind of
Twitter, and
rich?
Elon Musk is literally just throwing his brain rot into the.
It's
He's
true.
so stupid.
And then there are all
So
the
fucking
and there are all the people
stupid.
who
He's
stand
so
Elon
cool.
Musk.
Like my dad.
Yeah. So fucking cool.
They're
Just
gonna
stand
he's
that
gonna
fucking
rename Mars to Musk. Betcha.
idiot. Yeah.
Muskland.
It's gonna be the Elon Mars Valley.
I had
Ah.
this argument yesterday, and with my family, with my
Suck a
younger
dick.
brother, my grandpa, and I'm like, why are you guys both simps for this moron? Because they were both excited that
You
I
called
guess
your
NASA's giving
grandparents
his
simps?
company. Yes,
That's
I
gangster.
did.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I just don't give a fuck, and so because I guess my grandpa was talking about
You
NASA
simp.
NASA gave I guess SpaceX some contract about the space, and he was like, "Oh, it's isn't this great?" And why are we wasting more tax dollars on things that don't work? We already waste $700 billion with the Pentagon. Now NASA's wasting money on rockets that blow up.
I would listen to a whole podcast, Joe, of just you eviscerating your grandpa in such a manner.
Wait,
Granddad, why are you such a simp?
wait. Can I nerd out for a second?
Maybe I'm the only one. But
Nerd out.
Because I don't know, like we were talking about, like how could people simp for Elon Musk? And it's interesting to me because my theory is that libertarian ideology has not changed since I don't know, maybe the 1600s, and this comes from the fact that Daniel Defoe wrote a novel, Robinson Crusoe, and it essentially is the pinnacle of both Puritan ideology and industrial capitalist ideology, and they collide in this really interesting way where it's we have autonomy over our surroundings and everything is made for us to use as much as we possibly can so that we can capitalize on everything. That was the pinnacle of like what we know today is like libertarian ideology. Like it's very independent. It's very like, you know, and I think Elon Musk is just like a living example of like how this ideology has manifested in the world since industrial capitalism. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The name of this trash can is ideology.
Thank you.
It's really telling that that like the libertarian ideology hasn't evolved, and if you are correct, it's the libertarian ideology hasn't really evolved in 400 years.
It really hasn't.
It would explain a lot.
It's like, I don't need people. People are complicated. It's like, all right.
It's like the solution to everything is like, fuck the government. The government is bad, but wait. No. We want like we're
I want
scared.
that part of the government.
We're scared of Big Brother, but Daddy Bezos can watch me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I trust him. He's okay.
It reminds me of the Tea Party movement 10 years ago, where their big thing, where you'd have like actual people go to these protests.
Taxed
whatever,
enough
like,
already.
They'd be like shouting, like,
get your government hands off my social security check.
They'd be like, wow.
The government.
Yeah,
It's
it's still like doesn't really make any sense.
Wait, Ellie, what did you say?
Google says that Robinson Crusoe came out in 1719.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I mean, that's a long time ago.
Stoner brain.
That's literally 300 years. That's like almost. I'm not trying to nitpick.
Oh, it is.
But yeah.
It is the Stoner Day as well.
It's
true.
It's 420.
That's actually
I've been
my
waiting.
stoner brain.
Forgot.
I'm using my THC chapstick.
I don't have.
I can
don't
actually
have
make
any-
that sound if you want me
Okay.
to.
I mean,
This makes me feel better about forgetting that yesterday was Patriots Day.
Oh, I forgot about
Fucking
that.
cares about Patriots Day? Joe, it's okay to forget that shit.
Do people in Lowell do the thing where they dress up
for Patriots?
Did people in Lowell celebrate Patriots Day?
The only reason I give a crap about it all is because the Red Sox play at like 11 in the morning on Patriots Day, so I actually want to watch the game.
Oh,
Marathon Day also.
That's right.
Typically.
And it's funny
Patriots
because
Day
I was at my chiropractor
Joe.
yesterday morning, and we were both
Joe.
like,
Joe.
wasn't that
Joe.
last week?
Back off that mic, Dave.
Joe, you have to back off the mic because every time you clip, your volume goes like all the way down and then it rebounds.
All right. But yeah, it was funny.
24 inches. It's a good distance.
I was talking yesterday with my chiropractor, and we were both like, is that today or was that last week? We actually had to Google it because neither of us actually knew what it was. It was like, oh, it's happening now.
It's happening
I'm
now.
fucking-
It was also
I'm fucking
the name
listening
of that film
to
about the bombing.
Cottonmouth Kings.
Yes?
Yeah.
Cottonmouth Kings.
Because I still know 420 by heart, even though I haven't smoked weed in like 12 years.
It's a dog's life. Dog's life.
Wow. Oh, they spell it with
420
a
and Sleepers, dude. Sleepers is a good fucking song.
Everybody
Like,
had a Cottonmouth Kings
they're
phase.
complete
Okay?
dorks. They're fucking
tell me you didn't.
dorks, but Sleepers is
these
a good
guys.
song. Like the beat is tight.
That guy's hair is crazy. That guy looks like my dad.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm just
that's interesting.
I mean, like, he
All right,
looks
who
he's
has-
as old as my dad. Sorry.
Who
go
has
on.
another segment? My babies.
I know
do.
that Banks has something, but also.
Oh, yeah, Binx, what do you think with the thing that you have?
Oh no, Scott
The
can go.
thing.
Well, I don't have anything.
Oh, I
You
thought you
have
said you had a
anything?
segment.
No, I do, but at the end,
Scott always goes last.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm to remove because I mean to make no. I mean to take up no time and make no real like content with the movie stuff on this show, part of the show.
Okay.
That's why we have the movie club.
Yeah,
If
usually
you want to go, Binks, you can go.
Yeah,
usually
no.
it's news, rabid radlibs, if there is any, then
There's
shit
not.
you can't make up, then movie recommendation. But I've just not. Sometimes I wish I never started this segment because it puts me in this mindset where like I'm like, oh, what can I be critical about this week? And I don't want to think that way anymore.
Yeah.
But I will briefly mention that WBZ seems to be intentionally butchering the names of socialist organizations so that they can run segments about black liberation without tying it to Marxism. The first time I remember them doing this was the big demo that organized. They said social alternative instead of socialist alternative.
The Fox.
And this past week it was Party for Social Liberation rather than socialism
That just sounds like people that want to party.
Like
that's just like bad journalistic integrity. What the fuck?
Like I don't. You can't really say that it's probably an accident because it's incredibly consistent. It is incredibly consistent in the exactly a way that would benefit the prevailing ideology. I just don't see it as being a fucking accident. So sorry, but yeah, the WBZ gets the little slap on the ass this week for being a naughty bitch, being a naughty little bitch, and fucking up the name of the orgs again.
Yeah,
I wonder what if it has maybe like they're not allowed to say the word socialism.
No, they're just like they want to appropriate what they want to do is have like edgy black people. But they don't want to tie that to Marxism because it's too scary to have both at the same time. It's like
that's the appeal towards the progressive, but not the leftist.
Exactly. It is. And I was thinking about this like now I'm really understanding the idea of ultra left because I have seen, as the token tanky, I feel comfortable saying that I have seen actual tankies in the wilds using identity politics to basically say that like if you criticize China's policy then that means you're racist. Like no, you can be a fucking Marxist and criticize like the detainment of Uyghurs. That's not inconsistent.
It's not genocide if they're only committing cultural genocide. If we have people there that look differently, we can call you a racist for calling that out. That's kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
Just because people that aren't also Marxist-Leninists say it doesn't mean that it's automatically fucking not true. One would think that with a basis of dialectical materialism, like being able to accept that some things are just universal truths, like, you know, science. Like,
genocide bad.
That's fine. Like, I don't understand why in order to maintain this like facade of hardcore Marxist-Leninist ideology, we have to like do what the fucking Nazis did and like deny the Holocaust. But in this case, denying the detainment and forced labor of like several million Muslims. But whatever, that's not my business, I guess. I guess I'm just racist.
Yeah, like the Chinese system, the Chinese government is not a person. It doesn't get offended when you disagree with it. So like, why are people...
You say that, but...
Well, I don't know, but...
Yeah, that's like an important thing to remember is that like countries are not monoliths and that like there is just so much complexity to everything. And it's like we can criticize something and not be about like, you know, the individuals, but like the system or the things that are... Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, like I like to say, just because you can put some words in a sentence together and make it sound like it's a real thing, doesn't mean it's a real thing.
Yeah, but you also say, like, if enough people say that something happened, then it probably happens.
I say that?
Yes. You say that all the time. You say that all the time about, like, UFOs.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll stand by that.
UFOs are real. So.
I'm not sure that that's related.
That's totally fucking related.
Isn't it though?
Why would it not be true?
It's a specific
fight.
It's a specific thing where it's like you're
Jesse's
considering
kind of right on this one. I'm sorry.
Hey, you said you wouldn't go either way on UFOs.
In fact,
Joe.
this is exactly what you said about the Uyghurs the first time I brought it up. You said if a bunch of people are saying it's real, it's probably real.
Well, that's the thing. There's a specific tenet of reality that I have discovered, which is that if a bunch of people are saying what it is that fabrication is a fucking lot less likely than denial. It's so much harder. It's so much harder. That's why I believe in UFOs, because like, what do you think? Like the government trying to be like, no, that didn't happen. It was swamp gas. It was blah. You're crazy. You know, it's like all this shit. Like, I'm sure there are some people that maybe think they saw a UFO and didn't, but I think UFOs are real and a lot of people have seen them. And I also think that Uyghur detention is happening. Thanks, Scott. That's all.
That wasn't very nice.
Anyway,
it was just swamp gas. It was just swamp gas.
Back to Jesse's thing about the God fucking damn it words.
Misappropriation.
So, the social thing, right? Like them not saying it's like socialist. I wonder also if it's like news outlets don't want to look like they're like endorsing socialist organizations or something.
Yeah, that's...
You know?
Then they could fucking say that. They could say the Party for Socialism and Liberation. WBZ does not endorse the socialism word.
This is just the socialism.
But,
we don't endorse.
But I feel like Binx is kind of onto something, because like my feeling when I heard about this is that like maybe they don't want to associate socialism with what's going on, because that will make socialism seem more appealing.
That's
what Jesse
That's exactly
said.
what I said, though. But I said
true.
it's kind of like in a sarcastic way. Basically, what I mean is that like there are like there's like an ebb and flow of different, you know, buttons to fucking press that, you know, like pretty much across the board, there are stories that news outlets have to cover, because if they don't, they're gonna look. They're not gonna get the same viewership. You know what I mean? Like they have to cover the issue. Never mind. I'm not even gonna fucking.
No, I hear what you're
this
saying.
whole thing is like fucking
Like,
with my brain so hard right now.
They'll start like news outlets have to cover certain things, otherwise they'll look illegitimate if they don't.
Exactly.
But it's how they frame it that matters.
Right, and just
they're
don't
framing
lie.
this
Like,
in
just
a way.
don't fucking lie about it. You know what I mean? Don't
Yeah,
make
it's-
something
yeah.
up.
Especially given that like you're supposed to have journalistic like standards, and like getting the name correct of the organization seems like a big one.
Especially when in the fucking video that goes along with it says Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Yeah.
And the radio segment doesn't fucking say that. It says social liberation. Like anybody who watches the video could point that out, but they still put it on the fucking radio with the incorrect name. Like, sorry, I don't buy that it's a mistake. I just don't.
No, it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake.
I'm gonna fucking call him out like all day.
Society. Call him out. Call him out. Like, we live in a capitalist society where news outlets, like, they want viewers and they want, you know, they want to make themselves look good and they want people to like them. So, like,
But they also like to lie.
Of course they do that. Yeah, they like to
Yeah,
lie.
broadcast
they
news
lie
especially.
and frame things a certain way so that they don't seem liable for certain things, or that they don't seem like, you know, like, oh, socialist is a dirty word, you know? And yeah, 100%. Fucking call them out. They're fucking stupid. But, like,
I think that how we have a really good recent example of like what happened with in the aftermath of like the union vote at Amazon. Like the New York Times changed its headline like 3 or 4 times, shifting from like the Amazon killed the union to eventually shifting to like the workers killed the union.
Yep. Yeah.
I wonder what the print version
How
says.
about this? Why don't we all write to WBZ and tell them to stop fucking doing that? Like,
Hell
call
yeah.
them out, and then maybe they'll
Yeah.
update the article and like publish the correction, because it seriously, like, it makes me angry on behalf of like the woman who was speaking in the clip, because she outwardly associates herself with the PSL. So like they're changing the whole narrative and they just want the audio because it's fucking good audio. Like, it was a good speech. Her son was fucking killed and they want to spin it for their own purposes. Like, it makes me actually angry, and that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Would this be a good pretext to get you to call Charlie Baker again?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause you could do both.
I'll call
Yeah, I'm
him.
on the WC website trying to find a thing where we could like talk to them.
Not
we
that,
could tweet
not
at
that,
them, apparently.
not that we really need a pretext to get you to call Charlie Baker and call him an asshole.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I was telling my friend about that today.
Charlie Baker, go fuck yourself.
Our business hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If this is an emergency, please hang up and call 911.
Why would they call for an emergency?
That is a good question. COVID-19.
Please, Charlie Baker, I want to fall asleep in your arms.
Small business loan applications, please visit
I feel like this is designed to get people to like drop off the call out of like boredom or frustration.
Oh, absolutely.
unemployment benefits, the Department of Unemployment.
My doctor's office is like
What's
this.
the hidden button that you press to then like just get directly to his like his pager?
The Department of Public Health. For evictions and
You
tenant
just gotta yell really loud.
Charlie! Charlie, I want to talk to you! Jesus Christ, this thing goes on.
The secret word is potatoes.
Why is it like that?
It's gotten longer since the last time we
Oh
did
no!
this.
Shit.
Gotten significantly longer.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, I think he just hung up. God fucking
Are you
damn it.
serious?
Yeah, that was the one that
Wait.
doesn't. He like disabled the voicemail after we left.
Oh,
after I left,
yeah.
like
Okay.
Hold on. This is the.
This podcast in Charlie Baker's office were in a staring contest, and they fucking blinked.
Woo! I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
Record your message.
I don't know any other way to look at it.
Oh no!
Hang up or press 1 for more
Don't we-
options.
Hey, Charlie, what's up? I just wanted to remind you that you're still an asshole. All right, bye.
Fuck you.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much.
But the problem is, it's just not Charlie Baker's not gonna hear that. It's gonna be some like poor like intern or somebody who's like manning the phone.
Well, it's that
Yeah.
intern's fault for working for him. You
She
didn't have
needs
to
to
take that
write down
job.
every single time that Jesse calls him an asshole and like deliver it to him on a post-it note.
On a post-it note.
Cover
I
his
thought-
mouth.
Mr. Governor, you got another telegram. You're an
For a
asshole.
second, I thought you meant instead of post-it note, that you said like postage stamp.
Okay. Bring it back.
I was like, what?
Like, make a postage stamp. We should just like make postage stamps. You're like, Charlie Baker is an asshole. 25 cents.
It'd be nice if there was a postage stamp that just said that he's an asshole with his face on it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Binx.
Okay,
Yes.
I gotta feed my cat,
some
so Binx
content?
should go. And I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm sad you won't be listening to this, Ellie. I do
Gotta
this for
feed the
you.
feline.
Anyway. That was a joke.
I'll
but,
just pretend to be Ellie.
yes, please. I need them. But anyway, so this week the Roxbury abolition group Justice for Families as Healing has been like committing to a week of action. These actions include a social media campaign to raise awareness around a new planned women's prison in Massachusetts, and an action campaign to call or email the legislative committee chair to pause the construction of this prison. So like there are two acts that currently exist. There's S.2030, an act to establish a moratorium on prison and jail construction. And that one is presented to the Joint Committee on State Administration and Regulatory Oversight. And then there's another one, H.1905, which is basically the same thing, an act to establish a moratorium on prison and jail construction. But this one's presented to the Joint Committee on the Judiciary. But essentially, this moratorium bill will, 1, prevent jail and prison construction for 5 years to give directly affected communities the opportunity to lead on implementing and sustaining alternatives that address the root causes of incarceration. 2, provide a chance for the Commonwealth to reflect on spending priorities and shift resources to what residents say they need most. 3, prevent the expansion or conversion of current prisons and jails at a time when the population of incarcerated people has been steadily declining. And 4, stop the DOC from building a new women's prison. And 5, lastly, allow time for the criminal legal reforms enacted by the legislature in 2018 to take effect. So the bill will not stop the state from routine maintenance or making needed essential repairs to current jails and prisons, but it will pause excessive spending on renovations when decarceration should be considered first. So in a nutshell, new women's prison.
Not good.
And I guess why this week it's kind of been talked about more is because I think like the plan for the like design and the architecture of this prison has been like, I guess like publicized or something. And so like, obviously a lot of abolitionist groups in Massachusetts are criticizing it and upset about it because it basically like takes this approach of like,
we're going to put pretty paintings around and paint it really nice and have like a garden and it'll be like really fun and like therapeutic.
But like it's still a prison and like people are still incarcerated and like that doesn't change the system.
Yeah,
it just puts a
but
nice...
it's a prison with the rainbow on it though.
Yeah. So as we continue
you feel real good when you're in there,
right?
You feel real good about your guard abusing you.
Yeah,
exactly.
So as we continue to experience the economic fallout from the pandemic, pausing construction gives the Commonwealth a chance to focus spending and debt financing on recovery and healing for the hardest hit communities. So far, this kind of action that these organizations have been doing, they like in January they pushed something, and now it's up for debate again. So like, yeah, so it's like they're really trying to like build movement so that we can actually place a moratorium on this new prison. So if you want to find out more information on these actions and help out, there is a link, and I will provide it for everyone here. And I can share it with Jesse so you could put it on the website, but it's just tinyurl.com/MA Week of Action. And through that little tiny URL, it takes you directly to a Word doc that has like all the information about the moratorium and stuff from them in the press. Like I think on March 31st, they protested. There was like a protest about this. And so there's like a lot of information. There's like the social media campaign. There's like visuals, scripts for tweets, scripts for like LinkedIn even, which I thought was kind of funny. But anyway, like in your professional network, I don't know. But yeah, and then there's also scripts for emailing both of those committees as well. So I emailed them today because I was like, hey, fuck you, don't do this. I didn't say that, but I mean, basically. But anyway, shout out to the Building Up People, Not Prisons Coalition for working with Justice for Families as Healing through this week of action. Building Up People, Not Prisons Coalition meets every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. And you can find out information about their meetings through that tiny URL as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for what I had. But yes, thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Binx. And we will put relevant links in the show notes too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Can we include the link to the WBZ contact form so that people can tell?
I'm on that right now, actually.
You go email them.
Yeah. Jesse, if you write up something and you really like it, I would encourage you to paste it here so that we can also, the rest of us, send our own versions of it to them.
All right. I mean,
as many fucks as you can fucking.
I'll just put the link in the chat for now, because if I'm writing some shit that's really snarky and good and spicy, then I'm not going to be able to pay attention.
Okay.
Oh, what the fuck?
Put it in the Discord chat, because fucking Zencastr hates links.
Yeah, links in Zencastr is just, it doesn't work.
It is
It's like, I think you just tried to post HTML. Let me help you with that.
It looks like you want to see how the HTML for this link works and nothing else.
Oh my god! What if you just pasted something else crazy? I want to see what happens when I do this. I'm like this.
You already posted it, Ellie.
Oh, is that the same link? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens when I do something like this.
It's already in the show notes.
Contact those rotten SOBs. All the kids in Springfield are SOBs.
Shake harder, boy.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's from a show that's been on since before you were born.
Yeah, it's from season 4 of The Simpsons.
I'm pretty sure that actually does predate my existence. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
I mean, yeah, it started in like 89. It doesn't predate my existence, but it does predate yours and Sarah's.
Yeah.
You guys make me feel young still.
Wait, so
they always make me feel young. That's
when
okay.
we contact them,
You get used to it.
Yeah.
When we contact them, like what is the issue? Like why when it asks like why are you contacting them? It has like a drop down menu. Like what would you put?
A drop down menu.
What are the options?
Press release. News tip. I guess news tip would be it.
Yeah, news tip. Okay. It would be like because it's a correction.
Yeah. Okay.
So it would be a tip.
I feel like if you choose news tip, it's more like it's probably
news tits.
It's probably more likely to be read by somebody if they're like, "Ooh, spicy news tip."
Right.
That's a good point.
Because if you just do feedback, they're probably like, I don't give a fuck about feedback.
Dead body.
Hot info. You guys suck.
Oh,
by the way.
In this contact form,
breaking news.
What'd you say, Binx?
In this contact form, it asks for a link to the story. Jesse, would you mind providing a link to the story?
Oh yeah, that would be really useful. Thank you.
But anyways, the 22nd episode of the Simpsons 4th season, which was the final episode of the season, aired on May 13th, 1993.
Lemon of Troy, correct? I had the books. I still have those books.
Wow.
I know all the episode titles. I'm a huge dweeb.
Lemon of Troy, Lemon of Troy is a lot later, isn't it though?
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, which episode are you thinking of? Because I don't...
Krusty Gets Cancelled.
Oh.
Which was the final episode of the season 4.
Okay, good. Important.
Yeah.
important clarification.
May 13th, 1993. That so it's older than at least two of the people on the show.
Scott, can I do my segment now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if we said no?
I'd be like,
you can't make this shit up. Joe and Sarah are really young. Lemon of Troy was May 14th, fucking 1995. Are you guys fucking younger or older than?
Yeah, they are not older than that.
Wait, what?
God damn.
When in 1995?
Actually, a little bit.
That predates my
May 14th.
by about a year.
I'm younger by like a few months.
Yeah, these were the final episodes of their seasons. The Simpsons are so good for like 6 seasons. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Ellie, tell me something that I can't make up. Some shit. Tell me some shit.
Well, comrades,
You can make this shit up with Comrade Ellie.
I didn't see much in the story initially, but then it turned out there was like a lot there, and I was very taken by it.
Oh,
which
wow.
is,
baby
headline
bottles.
Baby bottle craze sweeps Gulf Arab states, sparks backlash.
Whoa.
What's the backlash?
Which is interesting. Well, I'll get to that. First off, this trend that happened is pretty random. I like this picture of this guy. I guess works at some. So part of the reason I like this story is where it's set. I just think it's an interesting setting. It's set in, I guess, various cities in the...
Oh, Dubai.
Yeah, so like Dubai is where they're reporting from.
Right. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, so apparently this fad started at a chain of cafes called Einstein Cafe, which is it's billed as a slick dessert chain.
Einstein.
With branches from Dubai to Kuwait to Bahrain. And I don't really know that much about the cities of Kuwait or Bahrain, but I do know that Dubai is a fucking weird, fancy place.
Oh, fun fact.
Yeah.
Kuwait has the strongest currency in the world. Continue.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
How much can it bench
Why?
No.
Insert 1991 war joke.
It can bench press a whole Desert Storm.
Yeah.
That's what it's fucking called.
Exactly. It bench presses baby bottles.
I wasn't sure that was what it's called. I don't.
What's
That
the
doesn't
name of
make any
that?
sense.
Bench press an entire
The
Desert Storm.
operation.
Go ahead, Ellie.
I'm carrying the whole Desert Storm on my back.
I want to write a movie now where Desert Storm actually happened because they found like a time portal in Kuwait, and they were going forward in time to get these baby bottle things.
What is happening?
I guess, so what is happening is that in these places, this trend emerged where like this cafe started serving. It says
It's thick, milky drinks.
which I guess is it's supposed to
Dick
be
milky.
it's supposed to be mostly coffee based, I think. But I don't know. I was surprised because the next paragraph is like,
Although the franchise
Einstein Cafe again.
was no newcomer to baby-themed products,
Apparently, they have like a milkshake which has a rice cereal for infants in it, and that's a long-standing bestseller for some reason. So they started serving stuff in these like literally like these baby bottles with like plastic, rubber nipples or whatever on the top. And I'm looking at this picture, and some of the ones on this tray that this guy is holding, they have like the cafe's logo on them, and then one of them says like
it's for girl.
And one of them just says like
It's for baby.
It's for baby.
It's for baby.
Yeah, and they have like covers and shit. So they started doing this, and everybody freaked out and loved it initially. That's the thing. I love this quote actually. Like the CEO of this cafe franchise in the UAE told the AP,
Everyone wanted to buy it. People called all day, telling us they're coming with their friends, they're coming with their father and mother.
like they
what if you
wanted
just
this
answered
shit.
the interview, just be like, "It's for baby,"
It's
and they're like,
for
"Oh yeah, that's
baby."
right."
Yeah, so it got real. This is like a real hot thing. People stood in line for it. They streamed onto sidewalks, waiting for their chance to suck coffee and juice from a plastic bottle. Some patrons
A hot
even
drink for
brought
baby. Tuck
Suck
baby.
juice, yo.
Suck.
coffee and juice. That's what they wanted to do. Yeah, and I actually didn't catch this in the first reading that I did of this article. Some patrons even brought their own baby bottles to other cafes, pleading with bewildered baristas to fill them up. So, like, imagine you work at Starbucks in Dubai or something.
Yeah, that is fucked up.
Like, can you make my, my green tea
That
latte in this
sounds-
baby bottle?
I would be. I don't know if they have the same fear there, but I would hear that and I'd be like, oh god, it's some kind of fetish.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Nothing
I'm
wrong
cool
with it. I just would be like, I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Pour my extra hot macchiato into this fucking baby bottle so I can suck it out of a fucking nipple. Like, what the fuck?
My feeling is that probably, like that would obviously be ridiculous because then you could burn yourself or whatever. My feeling is that probably these drinks are like iced because this is the Gulf, so it's like pretty hot all the time. But nonetheless, this trend persisted.
Yeah, does Starbucks never even serve like hot drinks? Anyway, continue.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, we do.
They still do. Oh, you're gonna dox yourself a little bit there, Scott.
I've done it before.
Okay, great. Just checking. But then the next turn is it says soon, however, online haters took note and people
and
were
then
something strange happened.
People got fucking pissed off. I think this is the same guy. Oh yeah. So like the CEO of this Einstein Cafe was like,
people were so angry. They said horrible things that we were an Abe. I don't know how to pronounce that. A shame apparently to Islam and the Muslim culture.
Which is like what? I don't know. I don't know enough about Islam to know why people would be pissed off about this. But that's another interesting thing about the Gulf, or at least about Dubai, is that you have this weird intersection of like extreme luxury and excess, and also like Islam, for example, which not every Muslim is culturally like conservative or anything, but like a lot of them are. So that's just very, I don't know. It's just, that feels like a lot to me. And then apparently last week, which was, 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago or something, the anger reached the highest levels of government. Dubai authorities cracked down. Inspection teams burst into cafes where the trend had taken off and handed out fines. So I guess it was actually partially because there was like some COVID concerns involved. But in addition to that, the government statement read,
such indiscriminate use of baby bottles is not only it's against local culture and traditions.
Which makes me very curious. I want to know what those traditions are and why baby bottles are against them.
So when you kind of talk about this story, I was kind of thinking that the twist at the end would be something like, actually they had been stealing all the bottles from babies. They were killing they were like killing the babies or something to like like
thousands of sad babies are missing.
Like they're mugging babies to get their bottles from them so they could fill it with coffee or something.
Yeah, like some shady backroom dude. That sounds like a Simpsons plot. Like that's an episode of The Simpsons right there. Yeah, I guess the backlash happened in all of these places. And in Bahrain, the Ministry of Commerce, the Ministry of Commerce sent police armed with live cameras into cafes and warned all dining establishments that serving drinks in feeding bottles, quote, violates Bahraini customs and traditions. Let me see if there's anything else here. People on Twitter in Saudi Arabia condemned the trend in the harshest terms, and a particular popular news website, Mujaz al-Akbar, lamented that the kingdom's, quote, daughters have suffered from a loss of modesty in religion. I feel kind of bad about, like, finding this interesting because I know that, like, that's a whole thing. There's, like, modesty is a whole thing, and, like, I don't know. This is just me looking at it from
it's like baby
where
bottles.
I'm sitting, and some of this is... Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, there's
Baby
a lot of
bottle
things that have happened that have sparked these kinds of backlashes, including like cultural or religious backlash. But yeah, like it's like some cafe was just like, lol, I bet we could make money if we fucking served these in baby bottles for some reason. And it was like,
no, that was too much.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let me see here.
I have a secret.
What's your secret?
I already knew about this.
Oh, really?
Oh!
Well, thank you for not telling me until the end. I appreciate that.
I like the way that you told it because you like read the badly translated stuff.
Thank you. That's what I do. Storyteller.
How we feeling tonight?
Any
folks?
other comments or questions or thoughts?
Thoughts, feelings, statements,
comments,
questions,
status updates,
bagels.
Bagels.
I haven't eaten a bagel.
You know what? My bagels are just, I don't know. I haven't had a bagel in a while. I kind of feel like if I had
I question their usefulness. Like, what's the point of
You
bagels?
question the usefulness of food? What the fuck are you talking about?
like
They used to make bagels.
I almost feel like I either
What
want
the
to have.
fuck are you talking about?
Regarding bagels, I feel like I either want just a bagel by itself because I want carbs and I want them now, or I want the bagel to just be like the envelope for a sandwich. And in that case, having a very thick
envelope for a
bagel
sandwich.
is.
That's a really beautiful way of describing a bagel.
Yeah, Joe, you don't fucking tell me.
Envelope for a sandwich.
You do not.
Incredible.
Don't you dare
Bagel.
fucking
Question the usefulness of bagel.
Right.
Yeah, just have some toast. It's easy.
That be the title of the episode?
Stop! What is with your fucking? Why are you so against bread? What's up?
No, I said just have bread instead.
Dude, there's a okay. You can't have like an everything piece of toast,
Bagels
but
kind
you
of
can
break
have an
apart in an
everything
interesting way.
bagel. There's
I actually did have
You can
a
have
piece of
everything-
avocado toast with everything bagel
But-
stuff on it.
I have
You can
everything
have a
bagel
piece of toast
seasoning in
covered
the
in
house
butter.
all
That
time.
sounds better to me.
Here's a fact.
Joe.
A
Jesus
bagel
Christ,
You ordered a
I've seen
hamburger
what the fuck
with
happened?
nothing on it. Nothing. No condiments. No vegetables.
Oh yeah, that's
Saying
Just
my joke that I was
bread.
gonna say, now it's gonna not be. Now it's not gonna be organic at all.
You are not the connoisseur of all things bagel, okay? I'm sorry. Your credentials just don't measure up in that regard.
I never claimed to.
You could
I
just
said
go
a
away,
question
so
because
it's
I don't
okay.
understand.
You forgot about the fucking condiment-free burger.
I mean, Josh gets those a lot, but he likes.
How can you
pickles
forget
so
when he
much.
brings it up every week?
But he brings-
Joe, you're Italian. It's not something that is a constant in my mind. I'm sorry.
I'll say it again. A bagel has as much bread in it as 5 pieces of bread.
Yeah,
Just a
it's too
fact.
much bread.
True.
I want less bread to be the envelope for my sandwich. But also now I
Bagel
can
bites are
say that
good.
I was just thinking bagels. Bagels are
Whatever.
the cock rings of sandwiches.
Oh my
I don't know if I
god.
agree with that. I don't
I
know.
don't really
Sounds
think
cute.
that way.
It's just a
It's
shame.
okay
That's
with
all.
people
I
use
don't
when it's
know.
the bagels, but it's perfectly fine for Sarah to say that they're the cockroaches of sandwiches.
That's not what she said.
That's not what she said, friend.
Something's wrong with my audio because that's what I heard.
Okay.
Cock rings of sandwiches.
That's patreon.com/epic incredulity.
The episode is over when.
Close
Give
enough.
us $1.
Oh my god.
Close enough.
Oh
I
god,
just
okay.
wanted to share.
We appreciate it.
I don't know what happened
How would you actually design? I want to actually design a bagel now that would a bagel sandwich that would fulfill that kind of.
You'd have to like shove the sandwich stuff through the hole. It doesn't make
I was
a lot
sad.
Of, I mean, I
when
would.
Bruger.
No, it's not
I was sad when Bruger discontinued the jalapeno cheese bagel. 'Cause that shit was fire.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Holy shit,
Why?
Joe.
What, the bagel itself?
Just-
Joe, what kind of food do you like?
Joe, what
Joe.
do you eat? What the fuck's going
Joe.
on?
Not something spicy.
Here.
Joe.
Not something spicy.
I just
Joe, what's your opinion on sriracha?
Indifference?
Yeah.
It tracks.
Yeah.
It is the spice. It is a spicy thing.
Yeah,
That you wanna?
I can't actually do
I
spicy.
don't
You wanna recommend us some spicy movies?
I don't know what fucking happened.
I wanted to. We need to work on designing this cock ring bagel sandwich.
It's like, I'm kind of like, I wanted that to keep going, like us to keep going on the bagel cock ring with the Joes, like cockroach.
I heard you wrong.
Would that be
Go for
would that
it.
be comfortable?
Food
I
is
have a
good too.
question for the for the penis havers, would that be comfortable to like put a bagel?
Penis havers.
Like, I don't know.
Cosmo recommends that kind of shit where like
wait,
put a
yeah.
donut on
I
your
would
dick.
say yeah, probably.
It's awesome.
I mean,
It depends
maybe.
on-
All right, let me put it this way: it would depend on the consistency of the, because you know how bagels like.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like a toasted bagel where the edges would be really like rough from like toasting, you know, like a fresh.
Oh, I was thinking like fresh out
Or
the
like-
oven,
Yeah.
just shove it right in.
Yeah, no, that would be comfortable if it was still
Should I
kind
be
of like
concerned about the
porous.
level of thought being put into this?
No.
No.
Joe, this is how you do hypotheticals.
I don't know why.
You put too much thought into it. That's why they're fun.
I just
Okay then.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I mean,
what do you
I
want to say
would,
about Joe?
I mean,
I would say yes. I think it would be comfortable to have my penis in a bagel.
is that the
Well, it's
question
not
though?
toasty, right?
That was the question.
Just your, I mean, yeah, that would probably feel fun. If it was a cock ring, the whole that complicates things. Because then how you're never going to be able to enter another person. So
Yeah, I feel like that would
having
be.
this giant bagel around your dick, make things unfeasible.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the bagel would go before the cock goes. You know what I mean? Like it's just bread.
It was really toasted.
It would
but then
go?
really comfortable.
What do you mean it would
Yeah,
go?
like,
I
I think
imagine
it fell apart.
this bagel is metal.
I think the power of even like a weak cock would break the bagel apart before the bagel can break the cock.
The
Wait,
power of
why
a
would it
weak
ever
cock.
break it? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna break it. But it's a fair point.
Well,
it's a fair point.
well, no.
Look it up if it's too toasty.
No.
That's the power of a weak cock.
Right, because I mean, that would be my concern with the cock ring. So I'm just trying to translate.
God damn it!
I mean, because you need to get like a proper gauge on the size for that. You don't want to
you need
end
to go
up
to
in
a
a
fitter.
situation
Yeah.
You need to get
Yeah,
tailored.
that you're gonna need like a firefighter to fucking get you out of.
You could just eat it out though. Eat it
could
off.
eat it
I mean, yeah, eat it off.
You could
gotta
eat
make
it
sure
out
you don't-
and then put
Eat
your
this
cock in
bagel
it.
off my dick.
Wow.
That's
That
what I'm saying.
conversation is
That's
really
the kind of
interesting.
shit that Cosmo says. They're like, put a
It's
donut
true.
on
It's
his
true. Yeah, Cosmo's
Cosmo
like,
says
use
put a
cream
donut on
cheese
your
for
dick.
lube. It works. Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would suggest not doing that. That's
I
probably
don't wanna
the
put
easiest
cream
way to
cheese
get
on
a
my dick.
fucking bacterial infection.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's easier ways, but that's one of them, I would presume. Aren't there live cultures and shit in
Cream cheese?
Yeah.
I feel like you and I should know this, given that we're the only Jews on the podcast, but I don't know that.
Is it kosher? Is cream cheese kosher?
Depends on
And-
whether it's
Well, yeah,
made
schmear.
kosher.
Yeah, we should know about. Yeah. No, it has
Schmear
to
is
be.
kosher.
It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah.
Wait, cream cheese.
Lots of
You
foods
want
are
to know if
kosher
it
is
has
the
what,
thing.
like cultures?
Live cultures,
Live.
yeah. I don't think it does. No, it's just like fucking.
Those are like cream cheese spread. It's on like.
Is that-
like
No,
like-
the bacteria would definitely probably be. I mean, the pasteurization process would kill it first.
I mean, the pH of it would
Oh.
also mess things up really badly. You have
Okay.
to be like shoving boric acid like pills up your vagina for like a week afterward.
Doesn't the vagina clean itself?
Yeah, it cleans itself, but you can still
They
mess with
ask
the pH.
owning
I
one.
feel like you'd still fuck up your vaginal microbiota with cream cheese.
Yeah, you definitely would. What the? Anyway, so
Listeners, if you have ever done this, please tweet at us and tell
This
us what
has
happened.
become a very informative podcast.
Anyway, cream cheese is made using a starter culture from lactic acid bacteria. Some of these strains of bacteria are probiotic, which are friendly bacteria that offer health benefits. So
But
does that
health
answer-
Yeah, but
benefits
that's
to the
kinda-
gut
that-
or to the vagina.
That's kind of a vague
maybe they
statement
can-
because you like to just say that it's a probiotic isn't healthy if you plan on using it as lube.
I
probably-
was just answering the question of the
Right? Okay. No, I get you.
Could be good for
I
your
just
gut,
wanted to
though.
add that caveat in case, like, somebody, hears this in 10 years and is like, oh, I'm going to try that. And then
I
they're
just
like,
told them to
Put
try
some
it.
cream cheese
guys-
all over
But I
it.
couldn't. I couldn't
You guys-
retract
on your
that.
genitalia.
I was listening to the Epoch of Incredulity. Oh, you haven't heard of that? That's normal, I guess. Nobody has. They don't have any fan base. But I heard about this thing, this healthy cultures with using the vagina, and I did it, and ooh, man,
Oof.
talk about vaginosis.
It's this obscure podcast from the 2020s. They talk about such things as using bagels as backwards.
Honestly, if we have like a random future, like I feel like that's well, never mind.
We're all like old. You and Carlene have like 20 kids, and then people.
Yeah, we've
like,
aged
"You,
somehow.
Jesse?"
Like we've aged like 30 years in a 10-year period.
Because it's the Posadas future.
Because they took all our adrenochrome for fucking
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos is younger than he was in 2020.
Yeah.
2021, whatever year we're purporting to be in.
2021.
What do you think?
Joe, how do you feel?
All right.
What?
Joe,
What?
how do you feel?
Talk about.
I just want to check in. I just want to make sure you're
I'm
doing
still
okay.
here.
Yeah.
I know you're
I've been paying
here.
attention the whole time.
I know. I just want to know if you're doing okay.
Oh, I'm fine. I've endured worse. I've endured weirder things than this.
Are you still enjoying hearing my brain just be completely unfettered?
Yes.
Probably.
It makes me feel better about my own, like, completely unfiltered brain.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
All right.
It's good.
Filtered brain.
All right, Scott.
Purple rain.
Purple rain, filtered brain. We talked so much about the fucking
rain.
Well, yes, we talked a lot about the news, but then we spent like 2 minutes talking about cream cheese.
Some state
I'm going to recommend the film. I'm going to recommend the film. Scott goes and jumps off a building. No, I'm going to recommend the film.
Comrade Scott tells you what to watch.
I'm going to recommend the film Network because it's good. Go watch it. All right.
What?
Network.
Oh, it's just Network.
From
okay.
the 70s, directed by Sidney Lumet.
Did they have networks back then, or was it kind of the thing where they're like, "Oh, I uploaded my
No, that's
brain into this
the film that
cathode ray
introduced
tube."
them as a concept.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No one had thought about starting a television
They
channel
had networks for sure.
before 1976.
Oh, like networks as in like TV networks.
No,
I
they
was
had
like
they had computer networks too.
Oh, yeah, they must
that's
have.
true.
They must have, yeah.
In the 70s.
They
It
had
was like the Orphan.
they had the intranet rather than the internet.
Yeah, like the intranets at various like universities or whatever. And then they connected them, and then they made
Hello World.
Yes.
I know the history of that shit.
That was a good programming reference.
Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that on here.
Sorry. Whoa.
Yeah, it's not like my job or anything.
Is that something? Oh my
Is
god!
he-
I
is
said
that
something
your,
in jest. I think I genuinely
Like a
pissed you off.
European DJ laugh.
Ha ha ha! World peace! Ha ha!
I've got a crazy idea. World peace. Sorry,
That's incredible. Whatever that is, I love that.
I'll find it. It's great. All
right. I apologize for my audio issues earlier in the episode.
Oh, they're coming back now. You've jinxed the shit.
Okay, everyone take a nice deep breath.
In through the nose, out through the mouth.
And out through the ass.
Yep.
In for 4, out for
Swallowing
7.
excess air is not good for you, though.
It is not.
Which is why you cannot stick an air tube down somebody's stomach and just.
That's right.
I don't know why that was so funny.
Anyways.
Yes, Scott, yes. Who are you?
All I was going to say earlier is that I agree with you guys about the ruling. It's not really justice, but, we got to keep fighting. Anyways.
Yeah, I didn't express, any positive sentiment about that. I mean, I'm glad that the cop is being held accountable to a degree, but, that's one guy, and he's not even getting and he's...
They're going to give him a nice prison cell.
I guess the thing is, there's been so much energy focused on this particular case that, it's almost it almost detracts from like some of the other cases that are gonna continue to go. Like there's not gonna be any repercussions. I mean,
Also, systemically, this is kind of an aberration. As like, I think it was Scott who mentioned near the beginning that like this is like 7th out of like 15,000. That's less than that's like 4/100ths of 1%.
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
and ultimately, like I would prefer to live in a world where we didn't put people in cages when they do something wrong. Like,
Right.
I mean, the problem is not that cop. The problem is cops, period.
The fact that they exist is the real problem.
Yeah.
And like things like prison abolition, like it's implied that we wouldn't have a society that it would need cops and we wouldn't be killing innocent people. That's the implication. So
I mean, there's still innocent people would still die for sure.
well,
Yeah, harm would still happen.
Yeah.
Harm would still happen. Like transformative justice is sort of a
Wouldn't be an encoded part of the job though.
I mean, that's not.
Right.
That's kind of one of those things where, you know, that's going to be the fucking question that, like, you're going to get, which is like, oh, you think that with there's no prison, people aren't just going to kill each other?
Right.
And it's like, dude, people fucking starve to death
No,
now.
I don't.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and like most of the things that like cops are quote unquote supposed to be doing, like you know, solving crimes, it's like they don't even do that at the rate that they're literally just like killing innocent people. So it's like this thing that exists isn't doing the thing that we want it to do or need it to do, so fucking get rid of it and then imagine other systems that can, you know, reform and actually change our society and like change the issues that actually cause incarceration, you know?
Right. That's part of transformative justice is like addressing these conditions that contribute to this shit. Not just like addressing individual instances of harm.
Yeah.
and also placing more value on the quality of human life than on the value of property.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I wish they would just like, look at the data and be like, how are the most number of people dying? And just, start from the top and just say, let's deal with this biggest thing first, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean,
abolish heart failure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm talking. Like, I guess. Never mind. I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, it makes sense.
I was
I
like,
get what you're saying.
Well, no, that's actually
just by all means.
2 steps ahead and one
for real though,
5
like,
steps behind. I don't know what I was.
That is not as bad. It's not like as silly as a point as I just made it out to be, because I mean,
it's silly. I think I got mixed up with something else.
No. Let me expand a little bit. So, like, if you look at the trends in health over time, you can see the way that, like, the food industry, especially as like through the power of lobbying, has greatly affected our health,
Mm-hmm.
because there's considerably higher rates of like high cholesterol and obesity related illnesses and diabetes and shit like that. And a lot of that is because the least healthy food is the cheapest food, and it's the cheapest food because it's only corporations that can like monopolize the food industry that can sell food for that cheap. Whereas stuff that's actually healthy for you, like either brands, will basically pay a fee to have like the organic label slapped on their food and it's not really healthy, or it is actually healthy, but it's not profitable, which is why I brought up subsidizing small farming operations in the last episode, because that would be a considerable step toward like having, better access to healthy food. Those farmers wouldn't have to charge a fucking arm and a leg because they don't need to make so much, like they don't have to cover such a huge overhead cost, and they also don't have to compete with like, Monsanto.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that I retraced my steps and I figured out how I got to that thought. I think someone said something about like that this isn't gonna stop people from dying that much. Like cops are still gonna kill people. And then I was like, what would actually stop people from dying? And I don't it doesn't make any sense at all in the context. I'm at the end of my my useful lifespan for today.
You're gonna get old now.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant.
You just skip past all the years.
I'm the oldest. I like that. I like that. What do you call it? What would you call that? Like chanting or something? That was nice.
Yeah. What's the name of that?
Yeah, I'm a monk with with the top of my head shaved, like just like a
Cultist
perfect
chant.
circular like bit of like
Oh, you're a friar.
hair around my. Yeah, I'm a friar now.
Yeah, friar. Yeah.
But like an old one, not like a cute young one, like an old
One who fries.
They call them friars, but I've never seen them fry.
Hey,
fingers, but I've never seen a
what did he do? Why did they call him that?
Okay,
Okay.
My name is Scott.
Yeah.
You can find me. Yeah, hell yeah. You can find me on SoundCloud and on Bandcamp at Sweaty Wife. Just put out a new EP yesterday.
Sweaty Wife?
Oh shit. I'm also on Twitter at DeathMullet. Who would like to go next, or should I just make Joseph Burns go next?
Why do you always do this to me?
Joseph.
Why do I always do this to you? What am I doing?
Always put me on the spot.
Yeah, it's not like we just started outros.
Joe, do you need the cultist for some more confidence?
No. This is what I get for checking my phone.
All right.
Yeah, right, fine. I'm Joe, he, him. You can find me whining about either the Red Sox or the decaying state of our political economy on Twitter at JLFB96. And
Yo, we gotta start doing pronouns when we do the outro.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Hell yeah.
Scott, he, him.
Okay, well, I'm Binx. You can find me on TikTok at Comrade Binx. And yeah, they, them pronouns. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Binx River. Thank you.
Cool. Like a good neighbor, they, them is there. And those are also the pronouns that I use. I'm Ellie.
I haven't heard that one before.
I like that a lot.
It's like a meme, I forget. Yeah. There's this great TikTok of somebody being like, oh, I need a strong they, them to help me carry this thing. And then somebody shows up and they're like, I can help you with that.
I didn't realize we were at the stage where we're memeing like State Farm commercials.
Exactly.
Dude.
Gotta meme something. Anyway,
We
you
are the
can't
meme.
find me anywhere. You can't find me anywhere, but if you want a psychic reading from my other part, whose name is Hava, she uses she, her pronouns, you can email her. Email her at darmakxjalad.
God damn it, I do need to make that a sound drop.
Yeah, please, that would be very useful. DARMOKXJALAD at gmail.com. Sliding scale, confidential. Put a Star Trek reference in your email if you want to. Thank you.
Email me at Quetzalcoatl9669 @42 at netscape.co.uk.
That I made when I was 23. Now she uses it.
I'm Sarah. I'm having a good time. Just having a good time. So, yeah. I mean, if you manage to find me, I mean, I guess that's kind of worth a conversation. Yeah. Pronouns are not found. Sorry. Goodbye.
404.
Yeah.
We're really leaning into this post-gender shit, and I love it.
Might as well. It's in our logo.
I'm Jesse, he, him. You can find my music at soundcloud.com/contingentsboston. Remember to hit up comrade-rosie.org. Click getting involved. Select one or more mutual aid groups to donate your time, money, and or labor to, because people really need your help right now. And in addition, we now have a legislation tab, so you can get a rundown of the legislation that is particularly important in Massachusetts. Although I still have the Breathe Act up there. I don't know what the fuck that's still doing up there. I just kind of wanted to fill up the page to make it look like there's more legislation in that tab than not. So yeah, love you.
Okay then.
It sounds like lots of little tiny tap dancers.
Yes. Wow. It's like the tap dancer emoji on the phone. I'm gonna see if the Discord.
It's like
has
that thing from what is it from? Not Sound of Music.
Darmok and Julad
Oh hell yeah!
Darmok and Julad Hatanagra. His eyes uncovered.
His arms wide.
You're welcome.
I forget what this thing. That's fine. I don't think it was important. Go. Who's? No, we're all done, right? Or
Say the thing. Say the thing.
Well, people should go to our Patreon at Epic Incredulity. We'll follow us on Twitter at Epic Incredulity. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Like Jesse said, get involved. Get involved with something going on in your local neighborhood. This is how we change the system. If you could, I made it rhyme. Pew, 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 pew.
You could, actually. You can.
Pew, pew, pew. And like we say every week, what do we say every week, Joe?
What do we say?
God bless
said
you.
it.
Good
Son of a
night.
bitch.
I don't know.
Joe has no fucking idea.
You said it. You say it. I don't know. What tank?
What is it? Oh,
Potato.
Potato.
It's
You
been
say
a while since I was
potato.
actually here at the end of the episode.
Now I'm just thinking of like a butt tank.
Here
Butt
at
tank.
the end of the episode.
Potato.
Been a while.
Potato.
Potato. That's the Epoch. Fuck off. From the Boston Commune.
What is happening?
Holy shit. That's the babies that the rain stole the baby bottles from.
No, it's like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Squirrel's concerned about me again.
Oh, that's so cute. He's like, Father, what is wrong with you?
I just feel like a little fuzzy thing bump up against my hand, and I see her little face.
It's like her sad little face being like, Daddy.
She does kind of
Are
have
you
a
okay?
naturally. Her gaze looks very like longing.
Concerned.
There's something about. I think it's instead of having like dark coloration around her eyes, she has these like white. It looks like she's wearing white eye makeup. She kind of looks like a fairy princess.
Nice.
But she's also like a carnivorous beast who would totally eat me if I died.
Also nice. Can I go to bed now?
Yes.